Hey everyone, it's Mango. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Qiyi M Pro 4x4. So let me just say right out of the gates that the average of 5 you're watching, the 4x4 is the Qiyi M Pro and it has not been set up at all. This is a sub 40 average when I normally average like 42, 43. This is a sub 40 average on a cube that has not been set up at all. No lube, no evening out the tensions. It is all just straight out of the box performance. So now with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the actual review part of the video. So this cube out of the box is really good. Now I've tried the Qiyi M Pro 3x3 and I liked it. I thought it was, decent. It was fairly good. And I tried the 2x2, which I was not the biggest fan of. I don't think it's worth getting the 2x2 version, unless maybe you wanted to just get the whole Qiyi M Pro collection. So I didn't have high hopes for this 4x4, but when I tried it out, I was very impressed with its performance. It is up there with the likes of the MGC, and when it's set up, it could potentially be up there with the Aosu. Now, I haven't set it up yet, so I don't know if it responds well to lube or anything like that, so I won't make any comments on it being as good or better than the Aosu yet until I have had the opportunity to set it up. So I'm just going to be talking about probably the MGC and this cube. So to make this cube competitive with the MGC, you have to price it correctly. This cube, I would say, is worth, out of the box, no more than like $22, $23. And that's only like $2 or $3 more than the MGC, which means that for like $2, $3 more, you can get a cube, at least in my opinion, that is better than the MGC, which I think is definitely worth it. So let's talk about some of the critiques that I have with this cube, mainly just catching, and that's pretty much it. So the outer layers catch a little bit too much because the cube is kind of loose out of the box, but that could be fixed with core magnets. And why do I say core magnets and not just tightening the cube? Mainly because on the inner layers there's catching, but it almost feels like because the cube is too tight. So what I would recommend is that they come out with a core magnetized version, not with maglev. Qiyi, if you're watching, don't put maglev, just core magnets, all right? That's all we need, core magnets, not maglev. So with core magnets, you could loosen the cube up, which makes the inner layers perform a little bit better, and then the outer layers will feel more stable because of the core magnets, meaning there will probably be less catching because it'll align the layers a little bit better. So core magnetized 4x4 would definitely be the way to go, at least with the Qiyi M Pro 4x4. And it also sets the precedent to start core magnetizing bigger cubes. So that's like pretty much my only critique with this cube. Again, I'm hopeful they price this correctly. So anywhere between 22 or less. Again, this cube is really good for out-of-the-box performance, and I definitely highly recommend it. I recommend it more than the MGC. We'll definitely see if my opinions change based on price when that ends up being announced or released. When the price gets announced or when it becomes a listing on Speedcube Shop, I will put it down in the description below. But as of right now, this cube is really good. Highly recommend it, and I think it's definitely going to be a main contender for a lot of beginner to intermediate 4x4 solvers. But with that out of the way, just enjoy the little bit of the solve I have left.
$38.81 average, 0.7 off of PB.